welcome to another episode with Gist with Casey. Today is going to be exciting. I have a heavy honorable in the house, but has been my friend way back. It's an honor to have him on Gist with Casey. Now, join me and listen to every beautiful thing he has to say, because this man is raw. So join me. Thank you. So, Honorable Ife Salako, welcome to Gist with Casey.
Hello.
Sir, we want to know about you, because
Yes.
my fans want to know, who is this Ife Salako?
Yeah, so Ife Salako is a child born in Lagos. I schooled in Lagos. I went to Alawo Primary School. Before then, I'd attended Medford Nursery and Primary, which was a private school. It was in the 80s, It was at the time when you had like one private school in like a local government. So
Okay.
it was really something that was, but then when I got to primary 3, my parents couldn't afford, my mom in particular, we couldn't afford the payment for private school. So I had to move to government school, Alawo, Joe. And from there, I went to government college. And after government college, I went to LASU, Lagos State University, where I graduated with BSc in Theatre Arts. And of course, afterwards, I went to work on radio for 11 years. In between, been involved in different productions, movie, TV shows, directed a couple of them, and I started a business, a food business in 2020, and in that same year, 2020, I decided that I was going to go into politics. At the moment, I'm the spokesperson for Labour Party in Lagos State.
Okay, sir, let me take you back to Lasso days. Theatre.
Yeah.
How long did you continue the theatre after school before you entered into the radio?
I never left theatre. I think if I still have a role today, I'll still act, but
With your busy schedule now?
yeah, I mean, sort of. Yeah. Funny enough, I pretty have control of my time more now than it was before. But what happened was immediately I left school, I first worked with a woman called Fumi Yondas. She was a big she was big on TV at some point, and before I went to the radio. So my radio time was night shift. I was on permanent night shift for 11 years. And so I spent most of the time in the day to still attend to productions. I did a couple of productions, even with the National Theatre, different production houses, with late Wole Oguntokun, with the likes of Kenneth Uhoho. So I was pretty much involved. I even have a stage play that I wrote about suicide. That was performed by myself a couple of times, and by some other people too. A couple of times. So I pretty much but it was so I think about in the last 4 or 5 years I've not really gotten involved.
Not gotten involved in that's where I want to, because I know that you had serious passion then in Lasso and everything.
Yeah.
So how did politics come into play? How did it come into play? Because from a theatre personality to radio personality, now a politician.
So what people don't understand about theatre is that it teaches you about humanity and makes you understand, the essence of human. In theatre, the first tool you deal with is human being, even as yourself as an actor, so it is understanding human. And that took me through the journey of knowing and understanding the importance of keeping your integrity, understanding what it means to do the right thing at the right time. And so that discipline was there from theatre. And then I moved on to radio, where I worked for 11 years, exposing me to, some relatively known or unknown information about governance, about, people and all. So within that time, it was a preparatory period for me to understand what it means to deal with people, to handle people, to know how best to go about, human behavioral attitude. So this helped me to understand people more and understand government. So on everyday basis, I'm exposed to information. This is what government is doing today. This is what government is doing. And then I took my time also to go way back to know how this thing came about, where we are today. But I never thought I was going to do politics. All until year 2020, I was never interested in politics.
So now, going into politics, are you going to say now that you're fully a politician? Both legs are in it.
I'm a politician to the core.
To the core.
I'm a politician. I'll say it anywhere. I'm a politician.
To the core.
Yeah. I'm a member of the Labour Party right now. I started with the YPP. If you check the Senate at the time, it was a combination of the ruling APC, the PDP, and YPP, which was the Young Progressive Party. And being that there was clamor for young people in politics, and there is some sort of light at the top. I said, okay, the YPP seemed to be like the right place to go to. So I went to join the YPP, and I started working with the YPP, and I literally built the structure for YPP in Alimosho, across board from Ikola down to Igondo, down to Egbe, Dimu, down to Egbeda. We kind of like have something going. Now, 8 months to election, Peter Obi came into the scene with the Labour Party. The kind of work that I had done in the YPP, even if I aligned with Peter Obi's ideology, and I believe that he would still be the best president Nigeria could have, I still couldn't just shut down the structure that I had built, and everything that we had done. I couldn't shut it down and just move to the Labour Party. So I stayed put in my YPP up until after the election. And the YPP made it easy for me to move, whilst I was there, I was not, even if I was really in support of Peter Obi, I was not thinking of leaving the YPP because, we had something really good going. But right after the presidential election, before the presidential election, whilst we were campaigning, there are some places we go to and they'll be like, this is a party, he's working for Tinubu now. This is a party, it's Tinubu that owns this party, we know now. And I'll be like, no, this party is, I was, heads on fighting like never. We are an egalitarian party, we don't. So I was doing all of that. And right after the election, the presidential election, before the governorship election, on a particular Wednesday, I was sleeping. I just realized that my phone was ringing back and forth. So I'm ready to pick one of the calls, like, what's up? And the person was like, put on your TV. There's something going on. Your party is declaring for APC. I was like, what? I put on the TV, it was on MITV. So some governorship candidates, of different parties have come together to say they are supporting the APC, and it was my own YPP then, governorship candidate, that was in front, that was the spokesperson for them on TV. I was heartbroken. I know someone till today who is an elder sister and a friend, who is our name, right? Our surname is Mogaji. The same granddaughter of Alaja Mogaji, the foster mother of Tinubu in Lagos. If I wanted to be in APC and eat, in quote, APC's money, she was the right source. We're still friends till today. We worked together for 11 years. In fact, when I started talking about politics, there was time we had it, I said jokingly, take me to your uncle. If you're ready. As a matter of fact, she was even reminding me, how far do you want to meet my uncle? And this uncle that we're talking about is President Tinubu. Our office is on number 26 Kefi Street off Aolo Road, Ikoyi. Tinubu's house is on Bodilon.
Yes, Bodilon.
From this place to Tinubu's house is 5 minutes drive. So if I wanted to be part of APC, if I wanted something from APC, if I'm looking for money, I know where to go.
Then I will go to the regular saying that every politician, especially young politicians like you, have godfathers.
Yeah.
In this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So are you part of them that have godfathers there?
Right. So if I wanted Godfather, like I said, I would have gone to President Tinubu. I cannot do politics of godfatherism because that's one of the reasons why the country is this way today. When I told people then that I was not interested in going to APC, and they said, why? I mean, there is connection, there is money, I was like, the reason I want to join politics will be defeated. And my reason is that I want to do politics in a different way. I don't want to do politics that everybody is doing, right? Which is the politics of godfatherism, politics of, scratch my back, I scratch your back. I want to do the politics of governance to the people, which is what the democracy is all about in the real sense of it. And so, if I had gone to a place where I have any godfather, it won't work. I said, so for example, if I go to meet any of these so-called godfathers and I get into office, it gives me money, gives me support, gives me the backing, and I get into office in this your Alimosho, right? And they give me, say, 100 million to make the lives of the people in Alimosho better. If this godfather called me and says, oh, Ife, we heard you had collected 100 million, return 80 million naira from that money to us here. Do you know I cannot do anything about it? Do you realize that if I say no, I will lose my position, I will lose my power? We have seen it play out a couple of times. So, and then you that you are supporting me today, right? You will start pointing accusing finger at you that, oh, we supported him and he couldn't do anything. But you are the one telling me to go and have a godfather. You forget that this godfather that you are telling me to go and get is going to take away your means of livelihood. It's going to take away dividends of democracy from you. It's going to take away everything that you ought to benefit from government, from you. After Biden went for his debate, the very first debate that he went for, immediately the Democrats saw that this man is not good for America. It was the Democrats that were telling him to his face, Oga, step down.
True.
You can't always put the party over the people. If you want to move your people out from poverty, if you want to improve on education, you want to improve on health, you want a better nation, politics, political godfathers must come after the people and the nation. And this I understood deeply, and I must say deeply, that I know very well. This present Tinubu's government, the effect of people, the effect of it on the people in the last 1 year, right, it's unbelievable. I heard a story of a young boy whose parents had enough to drive him to school before now. Within this period, they lost their car and the boy had to be trekking to school. And one of those days, the boy trekked to school. He got to the school, he collapsed. They couldn't revive him on time. He died.
Oh my God.
These are the stories that we don't hear, we don't know. I know the caliber of people. And when I say caliber of people that comes to me to beg for something to just sustain them for 1 or 2 days. Now, these are the people that are literally, doing well as a middle class before. But now they can't.
We've been ripped of joy.
It's a serious problem. So if I'm seeing all of this, and then I go into politics, and then I will still be the one to see now people that carry 80 billion and be running up and down from the FCC is madness. If you have been in government as a chairman of local government, a House of Assembly member, a House of Rep member, a senator, a minister, a governor, a president, either of all of this, you have been in that position. in Nigeria, you would have been exposed to at least the minimum, any of this position, you would have been exposed to the minimum of 50 million naira. Minimum. The barest minimum. And I'm saying 50 million just to think of the least that can happen. And if you have been exposed to 50 million naira at a point in your life, and you cannot turn that 50 million naira into something, and when I say this 50 million, I mean what you get legitimately, not what they steal. Because if you talk about what they steal, it runs into billions. Let's leave that. And you cannot say this 50 million naira that I've made, either being as a House of Rep member or as a House of Assembly member, let me now, invest it and turn it around and make people's life better and make more money from it. The only thing in your head is how you are going to go back and get more, and get more, and get more. It is madness.
It's madness. Wow.
If not that you are mad, why would you take 80 million naira from one state that poverty is reigning, and then you go to pay for your child that has not gone to school in years to come, not with your money, with government's money? In that state, schools are in comatose. Education is on the reverse, permanent reverse.
Yes.
And you are paying for your child's future. There's nothing anybody can tell me. It's madness.
Honorable Ife, I know you have passion for youth. I know in our private times when we talked, the way you talk about youths and how you've been, the enthusiasm you use. So what's your plan? What's your dream for youths now that you have a form of power in your own territory? How are you going to use that to help the youths?
So the major thing I'm going to concentrate on, and that I'm already doing something in that line, is to educate and enlighten our youth as much as possible. Because you see, like I said, I was born in Ojo. Ojo is a ghetto, and I used to go to the stream to catch fish, live fish, and catch crab. We have what we call korokwe, this thing that you people call korokwe. That's not the korokwe I knew. The korokwe I knew was something we use like a bonvita can to build, and then we had kind of like a cover for it with some rubber that will, so it's a trap for crabs. So we put it, and then there is the bait inside of it, So we put it at the hole of the crab. The crab comes out, enters the can. Once it pulls the bait inside it, the thing closes. And so we call it korokwe.
Okay.
So once that thing closes, that's korokwe. So you just go there to pick your can and you have your crab in it. So this is how I grew. But you see, remember that I said I went to Medford Nursery and Primary School. Whilst I was doing that, I was getting quality education. So I could understand at a point in my area, our house was on Ilaje bus stop. There's a bus stop called Ilaje bus stop before Iyanoma.
Yes.
Our house was facing the express road, the Badagry express road. And I realized that, all the big vehicles ply the express road. And hardly do we find any of them come into my community. And I keep asking myself, where are all these big vehicles going to? Right? Because I've been exposed to education compared to a lot of children around me. And so I think we need to educate our youth more. I think we need to enlighten them more. I think we need to open their eyes to a whole lot of opportunities, that are available to them. I think our youth don't dream enough. I think the society and of course bad governance is killing the psyche of our youth. To think that you find out that you talk to some young people and they tell you that they don't even have the hope of making it. They don't think that there is anything, like making it, like being successful, working hard. and make it. And I'm an embodiment of it. I'm an embodiment of you work hard and you make it. You get, so these are the things that I'm going to be embarking on. Education, making the youth understand their role, in governance, and nation building, and of course, getting them to dream and aspire more, and starting with the education that I mentioned about. I have a support that I'm doing presently, where we're giving 1 million naira to students at both the primary and secondary school. The best grades anyway. I mean, overall best from SS2 to SS3, and overall best from primary 6 to JS1. So we're looking for some 33 from these places in Alimosho, to see what we can support them with 1 million naira.
I'm going to be taking you to, because there's an interesting one that has been on my mind, and I've not gotten to talk to somebody about it. And I said, Honorable is the best person I'll talk to about it. The last EndSARS that occurred in Nigeria, Lagos, I was trying to compare it with the first EndSARS that happened. And I know that a lot, which you were involved and you took charge of Alimosho environment, which were part of it. But by the second one, I'm not hearing the first name. I'm not hearing the first Alako anywhere handling anything. So I had to just monitor, making sure I'm watching the news and everything. And at the end of the day, something that was said to be 10 days. And somebody called and said, I'm in the office. And I don't know how to go.
The thing about protest is that protest is not usually designed to start on a particular day and end on a particular day. It is not protest.
Because 10 days.
Protest, the strongest protest usually comes spontaneously.
Okay.
Right? Was it the Egypt uprising that started with the bread price, and then somebody that got himself burnt and all? Was not planned. There was no date fixed for it. The EndSARS started with a group of young people who decided on that particular day that we are going to end police brutality. Now, that is another part of it. There is a vision, there is a clear-cut, demand, and achievable demand, end police brutality. It can stop. Police can stop brutalizing people. Before EndSARS, right, there were videos of police going to people's houses, pulling them out, shooting them right in front of their houses. Extrajudicial killings. The rap, I can say in the last 3 months, we've not heard a police shooting or killing of anybody in Lagos.
I think it has calmed down.
You can see that these things is achievable. But you want to start protest, you want to put a date, and you call it end bad governance.
End bad governance, yeah.
Governance. Bad governance. Cannot end.
Cannot end.
No, bad governance cannot end. You don't know the terms. But the best of democracy today, if you go to their countries, there will still be some people that are telling you that the Biden government is bad. The Trump government was bad. So bad governance, right, is not achievable. And you want to end bad governance in 10 days. So some of us, right, even if you understand, how important protest can be, some of us also know that these things, there are different ways to it. There are different dimensions to it. One of the things that people, APC in particular, and including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, know how to do very well, is to protest. They calculate it very well, and they use it a lot against the PDP government, right?
Yeah.
So PDP was going to increase fuel price to 97 naira from 67, I guess, in 2011. And the APC government led a protest, right? And they campaigned heavily against it. It was achievable. You can decide to increase or decrease fuel pump price. And at least they got something out of it, right? So that is achievable. The end bad governance protest was not well thought.
Okay, so Honorable, briefly, I want to take you back to the beginning of our interview, and we'll be rounding up with that. Amala Ibadan. Because even your cap made me to even remember that this man is, when you talk of traditional man, because anytime I see you anywhere, you're always dressed like that with your African cap and attire. Was that how Amala Ibadan started? Or you just left and it started?
Okay,
or what?
So for the first time, I'm going to share the story of my background, my family history, and how it connects with Amala. So my father, my grandparents were from Oyo State, Ibadan precisely. It is the Raji family in Ogunpa, in Oyo State. And my grandfather, right, died, and my father's aunt, who is married to the Salakos in Lagos of Ebutimeta, adopted my father, brought him to Lagos. And in the course of that adoption, my father adopted their name, which is Salako. And, I've never shared this story anywhere before.
It's an honor to have it on Gist with KC.
So which is the Salakos of this Lagos, right? At Ebutimeta, right? Igbo. So we now were born Salakos, right? So I can literally tell you here now that I'm a Lagosian, born Lagosian, right? Based on the adoption of my father by, a Lagosian, and I bear Salako, which is a Lagosian name, So, but originally we're from Ibadan, Oyo State. So we have our roots there. We're connected. There's no way you can just, And so I realized that from childhood, in fact, the only time I ate, I cannot forget in my life, and I got constipated, was one night that I ate amala. I don't know if you remember all these silver
those
plates.
Plates those days.
Yes, those aluminium.
That one you guess that everybody will hear.
I remember I ate that full bowl of amala, and I was constipated. But it did not stop me from loving this food. So I traveled everywhere to eat amala. Like everywhere amala is, I'll go there just to have a feel of the food. And so this day I went to Ibadan, and I went to eat amala, of course, and I was on my way back to Lagos. So I got to Challenge. I was going to take the bus to Lagos. So I saw a guy selling some nice stuff, pretty original shoes, bags. I'm like, in Ibadan, you're doing well. So the guy said he's actually in Lagos, he's schooling in Ibadan, so he does business. Like, that's very smart of you. That's very smart. So let me have your number. And that was when I realized that I couldn't find my phone.
Oh,
I've gotten it. So I took a bite, dashed back to the amala place. I got there, I was just looking around for my phone, I couldn't find it. And then the woman selling the thing was like, I'm looking for my phone. I have a phone. And then she started insulting me. I hope you're going to translate this to your and then she did turn into a paint bucket, where she has her money
and everything.
And then she brought out my phone. It was a BlackBerry Book 2. And as I walked out of it, I was like, gosh, I ate amala and forgot.
And forgot food.
Amala Ibadan.
That's how the thing just came up.
And this was maybe 2015, 2016.
Wow.
I had the name in my head. I had I thought to myself, I'm going to do this business, and when I'm going to do it, I'm going to call it
Amala Ibadan. So that's the bet of Amala Ibadan.
Because that's the best. We want to eat Amala Ibadan.
It has to just
the thought of Amala Ibadan, you will know that you are getting.
No, and indeed, no. I've had opportunities to eat there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The customer care, the attention, the ambience. I like just to eat amala. the fan will be blowing, everything, and I've seen that the expansion.
We don't have a season, some of our
in fact, so when you are eating amala, you are eating with, you won't be sweating anymore.
No, you don't have to sweat.
So thank you so much, Honorable, for being on my show. It was an amazing time with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So fans, I'm sure you enjoyed your time with Honorable Ife Salako. In order for you to enjoy more episodes, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you more. Bye.